Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and yesterday I helped my 19-year-old move out of his dorm at school, and it's amazing in crypto. I was talking to Brad Combs on the phone, and I said, man, it's crazy. Every time if I put this down for even an hour or two, it feels like 30 days worth of news has happened. And by the way, my son, just to give you a baseball update, he played JUCO this year. This was his freshman year. He was redshirted because his coaches thought that he might be injured, which he ended up not being. But the red shirt was the best thing that ever happened to him, because it gave him a full year to develop. When he went in to his first year of JUCO, he was sitting. In baseball, you call it sitting. He was averaging 81 to 83. But at the end of the year, being able to develop and not pitch in game, now he's sitting 84 to 86, which puts him real close to his goal of playing Division I baseball. And many of you that have been here, I've been here 7 years doing this, and many of you that were here 7 years ago know I spent countless hours in the cage with that kid when he was young, just trying to not just teach him baseball, but trying to teach him how to succeed in life and outwork everybody. And so I'm very proud of the kid. He's done well, and I have a feeling he's about to go places. We'll see. If you want to join the private group, DAIXRP.com through the Patreon, or click the join button below any of my YouTube videos to join through YouTube. And by the way, folks, it is on like Donkey Kong, and you can see it now. The XRP price and crypto seems to be taking off right now, and I want to remind everybody, none of that matters if you are on exchanges, and it happens every single bull run. None of it matters if you're on exchanges that either freeze up or you can't get the liquidity to get out of your stuff. That is why this is what it looks like when you can't get in the middle of a bull run, and it happens every single time. And it happens with the biggest exchanges. I won't name any names. That's why I've partnered with Caleb & Brown. If you haven't opened an account and positioned yourself with a company like Caleb & Brown that has real liquidity through OTC exchanges and has a person you can actually speak to, because when these exchanges go down, you can't talk to anybody. You're dealing with a support line, but not at Caleb & Brown. You get an actual person. And while you're able to talk to that person, and while the market's booming, you actually have your stuff safely, your crypto safely in institutional grade custody. So you can go to xrpwealth589.com. I just created that domain so it would be easy to remember, and that will send you directly to my page on Caleb & Brown. Then you click the sign up today button, and it is on for you. Okay, that's what I did. I positioned myself there. Guess what's coming up?
So David, let's get started. I guess before we start, do you want to introduce yourself? We don't need to.
Hello, Las Vegas!
Yeah!
You guys are up for it.
Do it again!
Yeah!
Now, that crowd you hear there, I can tell you this. There's going to be a lot more people in that crowd this year. Go to xrplasvegas.com. We're about 20 or 21 days out now. This thing's coming fast, and the market's taking off at the same time, and that's a good thing. It's going to be fun. Go to xrplasvegas.com to get tickets. So here we're looking at 238 XRP. And the market has gotten to 3.27 trillion. You've got almost $103,000 Bitcoin. But this is what they're not going to tell you anywhere else. Look at the top. These are the top 10 crypto on the 7-day. XRP is up 7.72%, more than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a little bit more on the 30. A little bit better on the 1 quarter, but on the year, XRP crushes everything in the top 10. We've also got this. I wanted to show you this. XRP is on the 24-hour, 8.6%, 7-week, 7.89% month, 19.94%, 366.41% on the year. And I want to remind everybody that greed, for a lack of a better word, is good. That's Gordon Gekko from Wall Street. The greed index, this thing was way down here in the last couple of months, folks. Even into the teens. And everybody's starting to get ramped up. This is from Matt Hogan, who's the COO of Bitwise. He will be at XRP Las Vegas. Stocks are going to move on chain much faster than people think. In the last 24 hours, Robinhood announced plans for service that would let Europeans trade U.S. stocks on Solana or Arbitrum. SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce gave a speech about allowing stocks to be issued, traded, and settled on blockchains. Superstate announced opening bell platform allowing companies to issue and trade tokenized shares on Ethereum and Solana. The train is leaving the station. Links in the next post. Well, the train already left the station, Matt. It is XRP. Rosie Rios told us long ago. Now, here, this is from Donald Trump right here. This is bullish.
You better go out and buy stock now. Let me tell you, this country will be like a rocket ship that goes straight up. This is going to be numbers that nobody's ever seen before. That's a very important element of all of this. If we get that. If you don't, and the Democrats are fighting it only because they want to fight. They have Trump derangement syndrome. If it was somebody else, they wouldn't fight. If you had a normal person, had some stiff sitting behind you, they'd be fine. But they have Trump derangement syndrome. Senator Schumer's become a Palestinian. Welcome. I don't know when they're going to give him the ceremony, whatever the ceremony may be. It's terrible what's happening.
Now, if you saw what Matt Hogan just said about how they're going to tokenize shares of stocks, and Trump's telling you, you better go buy stocks. What I'm hearing is what Dom from Easy A is hearing. Better go out and buy crypto now. Well, I would amend that and say you should have been, well, I'm not a financial advisor, but what I've been doing is buying crypto through all the downturns. For years I've been doing that. Anytime the market gets crushed, that's when I've been buying. I'll continue to do so if we dip below, say, $2. But I don't know that we're going to do that. We might be headed for new all-time highs and beyond. That's where I think we're going. Doesn't mean we won't have pullbacks. But, by the way, Dom and Easy A, these guys will, his brother, they'll be at XRP Las Vegas. They're doing a builder-developer hackathon type deal, where it's like a Shark Tank, where you can win up to $25,000 in prizes. And then here's Trump on the Federal Reserve chairman.
The chairman of the Fed, Jerome, if he would lower interest rates like China did, like I think UK did, but like numerous other countries have done, it's like jet fuel. It'd be great. But he doesn't want to do it. I think he doesn't want to do it. Probably he's not in love with me. I think that's right. It's sort of a crazy reason, but that's the way life is. Anybody in his position would be learning. It would be like jet fuel. But even without that, we're doing well.
It's just a matter of time before he does. I feel like Powell's posturing to make sure that he can say that he did it on his terms and Trump didn't tell him to make him lower interest rates. What a joke. John Deaton says it is over. This is James Filan breaking SEC. I was driving back from my son's school yesterday, and all this was hitting, and I was like, golly, what's going on? Breaking SEC has filed a settlement agreement letter. Okay, and John Deaton says it's over. And Eleanor Terrett had put this out. SEC has announced a settlement with Ripple. The parties have agreed that Ripple will pay $50 million of the original $125 million penalty, with the rest being returned to them. Both sides will drop appeals if the court agrees to lift the injunction placed on Ripple. And Deaton says it would be absolutely shocking for Judge Torres not to agree to lift the injunction under these circumstances. I don't want to jinx anything, but the below agreement makes perfect sense, and it's difficult to see it not going through. Then we had this yesterday while I was driving. The Genius Act failed to pass the Senate. If passed, the bill would have been the first ever regulatory framework for stablecoins in the U.S. There's a lot of politics going on. This Senator Bill Haggerty is talking about it.
Hello, I'm U.S. Senator Bill Haggerty, and I just walked off the floor of the United States Senate after putting my bill on the floor to actually enshrine stablecoins in the U.S. economy. Every Democrat today just voted shamelessly to stop our debate, to not even allow a debate on this bill. This is after we moved it to the Senate Banking Committee on a bipartisan basis. This is after we put in place hundreds of phone calls, thousands of emails and texts, a tremendous amount of work, and a tremendous amount of listening on both sides of the aisle. This bipartisan product was just destroyed because of Democrat gamesmanship. They proved that they were only going to pay lip service to the crypto industry. But when it came down to an actual vote, they won't even let us put it on the floor for debate. This is a bad time for America. This is a terrible time for the crypto industry. We're at risk of losing one of the most innovative technologies that we've seen in the world. It should be dominant here on our shores. And the Democrats all voted to just shove it overseas.
Okay, and then this is, which one is this? What's this guy's name? Maybe I'll think of it in a minute.
The Genius Act was a bipartisan achievement at the Banking Committee. It was a bipartisan achievement because we took the time, hours upon hours. You were there, Mr. President. We debated day in and day out for weeks and months before we ever had the hearing. We offered almost 80 amendments during this session at the Banking Committee. We voted on 40 amendments in the Banking Committee. We made the decision to make America's economy safer.
Make no mistake, folks. This is all about propping up the U.S. dollar into the future. It's what it's always been about. Here's Treasury Secretary Bessent on the stablecoin. For stablecoins and other digital assets to thrive globally, the world needs American leadership. The Senate missed an opportunity to provide that leadership today by failing to advance the Genius Act. The bill represents a once-in-a-generation opportunity to expand dollar dominance and U.S. influence in financial innovation. Without it, stablecoins will be subject to patchwork of state regulations instead of a streamlined federal framework that is more conducive to growth and competitiveness. The world is watching while American lawmakers twiddled their thumbs. Senators who voted to stonewall U.S. ingenuity today face a simple choice: either step up and lead or watch digital asset innovation move offshore. Well, look, yes, these Democrats are pretty stupid, but they're not stupid enough to not realize they're going to get booted. They're going to lose the midterms big time if they don't go along. So I think that, and everybody thinks that they're going to go along eventually. Brad Garlinghouse said stable coins are exploding globally for their real world application. The sheer amount of recent announcements across crypto, fintech, traditional finance should indicate as such. Sooner that the U.S. can pass workable clear rules, the faster it reaps the benefits of this technology. Here's an interesting one. Last time XRP and ETH got this oversold on the 4-hour, get ready for the show. I'll leave it there, folks, and we'll go in. I've got so much more to cover. We're going to go into DAIXRP.com, and that's the Patreon if you'd like to join through there, or you can click the join button right below this YouTube video. We're going to talk about XRP, the markets, where things are going, what people are saying about that, what's coming. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family, away we go.